Yes, legends, welcome back to the channel Aruniente, guys. Today we're going to talk about the itty bitty bad boy Bitcoin as usual. But guys, before we start, massive shout out to the ultimate legends, Yahoo Finance, for the feature about MDX Algo. Absolutely amazing to see this. I posted this on Twitter a few days ago when it came out, but really nice, kind, well-written article here, guys, about MDX Algo, about my journey, how I got to where I am today, etc. All these things, how we hit our milestone of 15,000 users, guys. I won't go into this. I won't gloat about this too much, legends, but it is pretty darn cool to see it. They only asked me for a photo, and I wasn't expecting this to go out using my plant pot as a laptop stand. Probably would have thought about a better picture. I thought I was going to get an article out about it, but really cool to see this, guys. Goes into a little bit of a backstory about MDX Algo, how I started it, etc., and how well it's going, basically. And we did literally just do another massive update to the an update to the indicators you can see on the screen, actually. And we have, like, you know, the professional traders group and the automation. But amazing to see this, guys. Thanks for everyone liking it on Twitter and stuff. And legends, thank you, Yahoo Finance. People are, you know, now beginning to realize what's going on over at MDX Algo. So it's really, really cool. We're getting some recognition. But I'll stop gloating. And we'll dive into the charts, guys. So Bitcoin. A lot has happened. I've got something in my throat right now, guys. I don't know, I've been vaping too much, but I'll try and get through this video. But, guys, the lows, okay? So my last stream was here when we were coming down to the range lows, actually the yearly macro lows. You can see here, it's actually $15,400, sorry. And I said that if we lose this level, guys, it's going to be a very quick move to $14,000. Now, we actually did get an aggressive move, a good inflection, or you could say a good reaction off the lows, guys. It didn't happen immediately. It actually took around a day or maybe a day and a half to get this move back to the upside. And I said that the bullish scenario, guys, the scenario will be this. If we can get back up, guys, break the prior highs, find that area of support, that will be where you're looking to get your longs in. You're not looking to long here because there's no guarantee, or there's not very certain, or there's a lower probability that it will hold. There's no real confirmation. So if you did get the move, guys, that was a level to get long. I did get a few long scalps actually on this position. I was watching it on the charts on the week. I think it was the weekend, wasn't it, or Monday? Actually, I think it was Tuesday. Sorry, it was yesterday. And now we're up at trend, guys. And you can see here we are seeing trend as resistance, the prior trend. And now we're actually looking to potentially come back up into this resistance area. Guys, we're looking at 16,800. I actually did short this once already before. But this is overall quite a good move. It actually does look like some sort of, you know, white coffee accumulation-y kind of thing going on here. Actually, there's a few charts I've been looking at. But I try not to give myself any bias for those kind of things because, you know, anything can happen. I don't look at fractals that much. But guys, I'll give you my hunch right now, straight up my hunch on what I think is going to happen. There's two scenarios. Either I'm going to buy this level again as support for the higher low to give us the spring to get to resistance. That's where I'm going to look to long, for sure, get a buy order in there. And then the next play, guys, is to short resistance again. I do think there's probably going to be another trade, guys. I think it's unlikely we blast straight through it in one go. If we get resistance and we short into it, then we're looking to see, are we going to get a higher low? And then actually potentially move through this for the next move. But I think it's unlikely that we're going to get through this in one go. Sorry, guys, my throat's absolutely mashed. I've been vaping for like literally a few days. I need to get off the vapes, legends. If someone can put in the comments below a good vape juice which doesn't mess with your throat. Anyway, we will live, we will survive, we will carry on. So there's a few different things here. Yeah, you know, I am looking at lower time frames as well. I've been scalping a little bit. This is actually a BitGet, guys. There's actually a link below to use this exchange. I have been using it quite a lot. It is actually pretty good in terms of the liquidity and the matching engine. So there is a link below, guys, to BitGet and Bybit. You know, Bybit's doing a $30,000 you know, sign-up bonus right now, but this exchange is pretty darn decent. Let's go back to the charts, though. So a couple of things we got to look at here. We have support beneath us, resistance above us. We're in the mid-range right now. I'm not really looking for a position in here. You know, if we do find support and get a deviation, there could be a short-term scalp upside trade here. You know, if I was really on the short term, I'd probably just hedge both ways and then cut the loss with stop losses on either or, because we're likely to get some sort of decent move from here. Difficult to know exactly, but I would say at resistance, my hunch would probably be back down first, higher low. I'd look to buy here as support. And then obviously, guys, if we do come down here and break it, then we could look for lower prices. And the same for the upside, to be honest. You know, if we do come up here, get resistance, you know, if we get through this, I've said it a million times, guys, we do need to get above 16,800. Then we're looking at to come back up to 18.8, and then we've got $20,000 to get through. But you know, it's a good reaction here. We did get some significant bullish divergences actually on the indicator. So this orange dot here is actually just the MDX oscillator 5 on this specific time frame. So I think we're on the 4 hour at the moment. So you can see here, guys, actually we did have the bullish divergence call here, and it did actually result when we were oversold to come up. And guys, this new update on the indicators is insane. It literally does you entries, risk management, trade management, probabilities for next candle close. We've got the indicators all being like kind of zooped up in terms of what they look like. And guys, absolutely phenomenal. Thousands of people using these indicators. They are the best indicators in the industry. Go to mdxalgo.com. And we do have an update to mdxalgo.com as well. So long to short ratio. Now, I want to explain this to you because obviously we know that the retail traders right now on Binance are still net long, which is not a good sign for the bottom. But what we've done is, because FTX went bust, we've now got Binance retail and Binance top traders. So you can see what the lower end of the traders are doing and the higher end. So top traders aren't as long as retail. They actually have more short exposure. So, you know, looking at this right now, we haven't even got to resistance yet. So we are actually continuing a downtrend here. You know, if you want to be completely technical here and say, okay, look, draw a trend line from this point of data, you got 3 points. We're still actually coming to this area as resistance again. I'd say the probability is probably to come back down to here first, but I wouldn't bank against it. And I'll just say, look, we're in no man's land. You buy support, you sell resistance, you stick to your simple SL strategies when you're in these range-bound environments. I don't want to be, you know, buying and selling in no man's land. There was a nice long down here, but I would have waited till we got the confirmation over support to then get into positions. Otherwise, you're just basically trying to catch knives, and that's not going to get you anywhere in the long run. But really interesting stuff, guys. Stochastic RSI actually on the hourly is overbought as well. So I'm leaning towards the downside here a little bit more. But I wouldn't be surprised because of the momentum a little bit up. But, you know, you put a gun to my head and say, what do you think? Probably probability states like this. I always give my hunch because you guys want it. But obviously anything can happen. You just got to have stop losses, etc. And our indicators now have stop losses built in. So this tells you when to buy and puts your stop on the screen. So insane stuff happening there, guys. In terms of like the CBBI, we already know it's at, whoa, shit, I didn't see that actually. CBBI 2, there's only been a few days ever in history we've had CBBI 2, probably like 3 days. Great time to buy Bitcoin on the long term. Commitment of traders. Let me quickly check the dealers for you, Legion days. Nothing new to report here, guys. They're still net short. Simple as that, guys. You know, if guys on Binance are long in it, retail's longing, and the institutional grade traders are shorting it, guys, it's probably unlikely we're coming to a long-term bottom. If I zip out to medium term on the daily, guys, let me just quickly do this for you now. You know, it's promising, but I wouldn't say there's anything really changed here. We're still making lower highs through this. I've said from the beginning, I think we either get 14K then 28 or 28 then 14. And I think actually, I mean, this chart's been flying around a little bit, to be honest. You know, I still do think that this scenario is probably the most probable on the medium term. That, you know, 14K-ish. We then get some sort of bear market rally up to 28,000, back down. You know, very similar to this, guys, and back up. It's literally the same thing like that. And I think that would catch the most people off guard here. And you know, eventually find a higher low and begin to carve up before the halving. But that medium term, this is the medium term play, the next 6 months, you know, to a year. And then that long term, you just, you know, you can't beat CBBI 2, guys, on a long term play right now. It's very unlikely if you buy Bitcoin and you hodl it for a couple of years. It's very unlikely it's going to be at a lower price point. You know, SPX has been doing quite well as well. We saw that on the open yesterday. That's what really actually, I think it was it was this morning and yesterday's closes both had pretty nice gaps up. And this is definitely putting, you know, a good pressure on Bitcoin for carving out that 15,500 low. In terms of targets for this, though, I already draw you the wave count on this, guys. You already know what the wave count is. Let me get off logarithmic a second. You know, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, we haven't gone as deep as I thought, which actually is better. You know, we just held support on the prior highs. Very, very textbook there, guys, for traditional markets. And this is going to be the fifth wave. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth wave can get pretty explosive. It's kind of like the suckers or the FOMO rally at the end. And I do think the target could come to 4,400 on this at the best. I don't see us getting above that. But if we did get that scenario in SPX, it could result in Bitcoin breaking 20K, actually. You know, if we do, you know, see this really begin to break trend, I could see a move up quite quickly to $20,000 for Bitcoin. I think potentially Bitcoin might see a little bit of resistance on 20, so that's it. But ultimately, we could get above 20 and actually have a bear market rally here if we can hold this high. We are about to get a deviation break. You can see here it's respecting these levels very, very nicely. And then, you know, ultimately after this 4,400, I think it's looking pretty dire, actually. I think it's going to be a pretty deep correction here. So, you know, this is going to take a few days, maybe a week or so to play out. You know, if Bitcoin does get that upside move because of this and we get above, you know, but let's just say back to 20 first. We don't want to, like, jump to conclusions too much. in terms of this area of volume, you know, it's a very quick move down. So I think it'll probably be a very quick move back up with some resistance here. You know, I think like this, to be honest, and then a breakout. I think this would probably be quite a quick move back. And, you know, looking at SPX, how it's postured, you know, it wouldn't surprise me to see if this comes a lot higher, that Bitcoin's going to have some relief, and I think it's going to go a lot higher actually as well. There's some rumors right now about, you know, the Fed coming out with easing rates a little bit. I don't really look at that much, but that could be another kind of catalyst to the fire there. Dixie as well. I want to quickly recap on Dixie. Yeah, so it's good to see this for, obviously, if you're bullish on risk at the minute. We haven't really had much of a bounce. You know, the worst scenario for risk and Bitcoin and equity would have been all the way to here, and that probably would have actually meant we came a little bit deeper in some of the corrections. But, you know, not a bad sign from the dollar. You know, if the dollar's going down, Dixie's going down, what you're doing is, you know, what it's really implying is that people are buying things coming out of the dollar. And, you know, there's support, and I've said it's the magnet to the market. Support, that, you know, that's a long way for Dixie to go. To lose 2.5% of its purchasing power in a few days, you know, that's a lot of money moving back into other asset classes. So this is another good sign overall for Bitcoin. And I do think that, you know, it's not 100% correlated. It's more correlated to gold and equity. But I do think that generally speaking, if Dixie's going down, dollars are plunging into other asset classes. If SPX is going up because of that, it's going to have a knock-on effect on Bitcoin. It's all very correlated at the minute. So it's pretty good to see that. Some stocks I've been eyeing up as well. Actually, I did buy some Meta, guys. I do think this is worth a punt on Meta. You know, if Mark Zuckerberg gets Meta right, it's going to be literally the biggest metaverse project out there ever. It's probably one of the biggest companies in the world. So I reckon it's worth a punt. You know, I'm not looking to like play this on like sort of like any, you know, high risk leverage plays. I'm just looking to buy it spot, hold onto these hold onto this, like, you know, these shares of the company for probably over a year and just see if he could do it. You know, I think you know, it's possible. But the probability, I think, is good enough with that asymmetric setup there. It's gone down so much. I'm looking to buy Google here, guys, as well. I know this is like stock stuff, and I've been looking at this quite a lot, as obviously Bitcoin's been in a bear market. But the ones I'm looking at is Google, Meta. Haven't really got excited about Amazon just yet, and Tesla not either. This is actually the federal fund rate as well, the Federal Reserve funds, the interest rate. So this is actually quite an interesting chart. Oh, we're going to get a higher high, sir. Here we go. One high out the way. And that's kind of really it in terms of those stocks. In gold as well, guys, interesting. I want to talk about this. I did a tweet about this trade. I think I can make $1 million on this trade, guys, because if you look at gold's seasonality, it's very likely that you have a good end of year for gold. The probability is actually very, very crazy high, actually. So I do think that this is a very, very good trade setup. You know, I have actually started to get into this just in case we go now. But this is really where you want to be buying some gold and then holding on to gold basically from the 1st of December until probably mid-January, and then get out of gold about end of January, mid-January kind of time, because the seasonality of gold is very, very good in Jan. There's an 18% chance move here, guys. So you do the math, you know, you can make a lot of money if you can put, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars down on some exchanges like leverage, etc. I actually do trade gold on Phemex, guys. So there is a link below to trade gold. You can actually put Bitcoin in your account and then trade paper gold. Obviously, you're not buying bullion gold or anything like that, like spot, you know, real physical gold. But it is a really good way to get exposure to gold without having to move around your assets if you like crypto. So you can hold Bitcoin and trade gold with Bitcoin. So I'll put a link to Phemex below, guys, to trade gold as well. I will be playing my trades there. There is another exchange called Prime XBT as well, which is pretty decent. But all the links will be down there, guys, for Phemex, etc. Wrap it up, though, leggies. I think we're going to come to support on this one. I'll look to buy support, sell resistance. It's very simple in the middle of the range here. And if you put a gun to my head, I'd probably say this would be the most probable scenario. But if we do lose here, then obviously you got stops, guys. Flip your bias. And if we do lose the lows, we have a very, very nice defined low now. So, you know, if we do just carve out lower highs like this all the way, it keeps coming down. You know, I think it's quite likely we will break this and go 14. If this breaks, guys, it's 14 very, very likely, very, very quickly as well. But looking at a few other different markets, guys, I think overall my gist is potentially some sort of higher learning, maybe getting through this would be very interesting. You know, I'm going to sell it as resistance, obviously the first attempt. If we get through it and find it as support, I'll buy it. That's my strategy. Simple SR strategy. Here we literally go. Guys, hit the like button as well. I'll do a competition. I will give away $100 and MDX Algo for free, guys. I will give away this software for free and all the other features we have. Just comment below, guys, what you think about Bitcoin. the most interesting comment, I'll give you $100 and an MDX algo account for free. My throat is mashed. I'm going to go sleep. It's late here. You're legends, guys. I'll see you on the flippers. Bye-bye.